Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. This is your coach, Mr. Mango. This is part 2, Module 6, Lesson 19. Yes. Again, instructions, instructions, instructions. You have to read carefully. This is what's going to take. You already learned how to make graphs. Now we need to learn how to read these graphs, which are nothing like a coordinate plane with plotted points in it. Let's begin. Mr. Boyd checks the gauge of his home's fuel tank on the first day of every month. The line graph to the right was created using the data he collected. So this is it. The Boyd's monthly fuel usage. This is the title of this information. And let's analyze the rest of this graph. As you can see, the x-axis is referring to months, and the y-axis it refers to the fuel gauge reading. So if the fuel gauge reads all the way to the top, that means the tank is full of gas. If it's um, on the origin, that means that the car is empty. Okay. Now the other thing I want you to analyze, when you move on the x-axis, is for every square you move, it represents 1 month. Month, that's February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and so on and so forth. Now, if you count up every square, it represents a portion of the tank, which is probably gallons. So this is going to be 16 parts of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is half a gallon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 16 markings that represent the tank full of gas. Okay. We don't know how many gallons is that, but we'll find out. Okay, question number 1. According to the graph, during which month does the amount of fuel decrease most rapidly? The, the fuel decreased most rapidly. Now, if we can look at this and analyze this, so for example, from in January, here in the bottom, if you can see, that's the dot that I'm pointing at. It went down how many squares? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 3 squares. From that's from January to February. From February to March is going to be 1, 2. And from March to April is going to be only 1 and only 1. So the one where you when the question is the amount of fuel decreased most rapidly is in January. So that's going to be our answer. January, you can see, yeah, you can see that January is the month. And remember, use the question to find the answer, to answer the question. The month in which fuel decreases most rapidly. And look, I'm using the same words they use on the question. Most rapidly. Rapidly. All right. Question number 1 is answered accurately. Question number 2, which is B. The boys took a month-long vacation. So they took a vacation. It's a month long. During which month did this most likely occur? Explain how you know using the data. Okay, so I'm going to analyze the data. They use gas here, they use gas here, they use gas here, they use gas here. They refill the tank over here. They use gas here, and from here to here, they didn't use any gas. From here to here, they use gas. Here they use gas, they use gas, they use the car. Okay, so the only place where I can see they didn't use gas is right here. So that's what I think where they took the vacation in the month of, let me see, what month is that? July. So that should be our answer. But notice how I have to analyze the graph to find the answers. So in July, no fuel was used Because remember, always answer why you're doing something or why the answer is a certain way. The line is flat. Period. The line, we can say the line from um from July to August is flat. And the reason is this is flat. Okay, so that is when they um went on vacation. On vacation. Okay, question number 2 is answered. All right, let's look at question number 3, which is C. Mr. Boyd's fuel company filled his tank once a year. During which month did this most likely occur? Explain. Okay. Again, let's look at the graph. Okay, so this says Mr. Boyd's fuel company filled his tank. So you can see if we look at the graph, oh look, this is where he was. It was less than half a tank, and then he got filled up all the way. So it was in the month of May. The tank was filled in May because the line went up, meaning fuel was added. Fuel was added. All right, we're almost done with this monthly thing. These difficult questions that we have here. All right, so that's the answer for that particular question. Okay, let's look at that one before the last question. The Boyd's family fuel tank holds 284 gallons of fuel when full. So that means how many gallons of fuel did the Boys use in February? So we want to know how much they use in February. But before we do that, let's just make sure that when the tank is full, that equals 284 gallons. Okay, now in February they used how many gallons used? Okay, in February you see how there's two squares going down here. That means they used two of these little squares. Now, to get the answer, we have to count all of the squares going all the way up to full, from origin to full to the top, and divide it. So we're going to divide this whole number by 16 little squares, or 16 units, and that's going to give us the answer. So our division is going to be um, 200 and, let me see, can you see it? Let me fix my 284 gallons divided by 16, because we want to know how much is one of each increment. And I did the math before, so it's going to be 17 and 75 gallons of gallons. So that, let me explain this right here. So one of these squares is going to be 17.75. Now the second one is going to increase, correct? It's going to go up by 17.75, which will be twice the number, will be 35.5. And it will increase until you get to the full tank. Again, that's how we came up with this number. You multiply that number times 16, and it should give you the total of capacity of the tank, which is 284 gallons. Now let's get back to our problem here. Now the question is, how many gallons of fuel did the Boys use in February? Again, we're going to analyze the graph now. February is right here. And if you look at February, they went from two little squares, and remember, each of them represents 17.75. So we're going to multiply that by 2. So 17.75 times 2, and that equals 35.2, no, 35.5 gallons. And I did this ahead so we don't make this video so long. Okay, let's see, there it is. So did we answer the questions? How many gallons of fuel did the boys use in February? Okay, so we can say that in February, the how do you spell their name? Okay, there it is. The boys, uh, the boys, let me see, used, what is it? Used 35.5 gallons of fuel. That's the answer for that particular question. All right, let's look at the last question, my friends. We're almost done here. Last question says, Mr. Boyd paid $3.54 per gallon of fuel. What is the cost of the fuel used in February and March? Okay, so a gallon. So for every gallon is $3.54. Okay, so in February and March, they want us to see February and March. So February is right here. So in February, use 1 unit, 2 units, and then March is going to be another unit. So that's 3 units. Oh, my bad. I'm not showing you the graph. So it's asking us what is the cost of fuel used in February and March. So this is what I did when you were not looking. So this is February. We're going to start in February. Use 1 unit, 2 units, and then March all the way to March that's going to be 3 units. So now we got to multiply that 3 units by each of these markings. Remember, one of these units is 17.75. So now we're going to multiply. Let me see, can you see it? Yes, you can see it. 17.75 times, and that's 3 units, 3. And the total is 53 and 25. Oh, wait. Those are gallons times 3, which will be this many gallons that they use during the month. Now we need to know how much is that. So we have to now multiply this by how much is each gallon, which is 354. So 53.25 times the amount, the price of each gallon, that's going to give us a total of $188.51. So now we can answer the question. So the line, let me see, can you see it? Yeah, the line from February to, what is the question? To March. And I said May, but it's March. My apologies. The line from February to March, let's see, moved down 3 units, which is how many gallons? So we already did that, right? Which is 53.25 gallons. Okay, so these are gallons. Okay, now the line. Okay, so did we find the answer? Did we look at the cost? And we haven't gotten the cost. This is the cost. The cost is, I'm gonna write it here. Yeah, the cost for 53.25 gallons of fuel is, and it's right here, right? $188.51. My friends, these are very easy things to do. They're just time consuming because they consume time because you have to analyze Carefully analyze the graphs. Watch them again. Your coach wishes you the best. Your coach knows that you got this. And make sure you do your practice and understand it more than anything. Understand what happened here today. Signing out your coach, Mr. Magno.